The Basics video is for wrist mobility and for heating up the first floor of your body, the floor of stability. We'll start out in tabletop. Bring your wrists under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Begin by measuring shoulder distance apart by bringing your middle fingers together. And then once they touch, pivot on the heel of your hand so your fingers face forward. Make sure that you have 90-degree angles behind your wrist. You can use a block here to measure. And then you can also measure on your leg. Place the block in front of your knee and make sure that it's standing up straight. Then you can place your block back on the side of your mat. Look forward. You always want to look where you're going. Press the tops of your feet into your mat. And then rotate your right wrist 180 degrees and make sure that the heel of your right hand is lined up with the heel of your left. Press into your entire right hand, entire left hand. Start rotating clockwise and start to move around your wrist. You'll keep looking forward. Imagine that your body is a car. You always want to look where you're going so you don't run into anything. And if you're noticing that you're placing a lot of weight in the heels of your hands, that means you're back in your past. So you'll want to place more weight into the knuckles of your hands, moving forward into your future. So you keep looking forward, keep pressing the tops of your feet into your mat, rotating all the way around your wrist. You can imagine that your wrist is on a clock face. So you're going from 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock. And notice which numbers it's hard to get to. Do you tend to have a hard time getting forward from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock? Do you sink back a lot from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock? And then you'll switch directions. So start going counterclockwise. And this time you can imagine that your wrist is on a baseball diamond. So you're going from home to first to second to third. And you can use this metaphor in your imagination to try and figure out what bases it's hard for you to get to. You can also notice now that you've switched directions, is it easier for you to go clockwise or counterclockwise? Cross-reference from your left hand to your right knee. Press them into the mat and away from each other. Cross-reference from your right hand to your left knee. Press them into the mat and imagine that they're traveling away from each other. And then flip your wrist back so that it's facing forward as you stop spinning around. And you'll flip your left wrist 180 degrees. Once again, make sure your left heel of your hand is measured up with the right. And then you'll start moving clockwise. And remember, you're going all the way around your wrist, so you're not moving very much locally in your lower body, but rather you're moving your entire torso and your legs. And whenever you're going around anything in your body, you're going around everything else in your body. So when you rotate clockwise around your left wrist, you're also rotating in your knees, in your feet, in your other wrist. So keep looking forward so you know where you're going. And then you switch directions. So start to take it counterclockwise. Once again, whenever you're counterclockwise, it's like you're going around a baseball diamond. Whenever you spin to the left side of your body is your lunar nature. It's your maternal root. Whenever you spin to the right, that is your solar nature. It's your paternal root. So notice, do you tend to like to go to the left or to the right? Are you more into going with the grain or against the grain? And then you'll flip your wrist back around so it's facing forward. And then bring your right knee to the middle of your mat and cross your left knee behind it. Bring your feet as wide as your mat and flip your wrists 180 degrees. And then start to rotate your pelvis in a clockwise position. So this time, instead of moving around your wrists, you're keeping your upper body pretty stable and you're focusing on spinning your pelvis. This is a very localized movement. Your legs, your knees, your feet don't move very much. You keep looking forward and you imagine that your pelvis is on a clock face again. And you keep rotating it even when you don't want to, knowing that we're all in this together. there's other people experiencing this, and that any piece of information you get, whether it's hard or easy, whether you love this or don't love this, that's all a little piece of information that helps you get to know yourself better. So start to speed it up, take it a little faster and faster, whipping it up as if you're whipping up whipped cream. And then pause, flip your hands back around, bring your knees back to parallel. Then bring your left knee to the middle of your mat, your right knee behind it, your feet as wide as your mat. And then you'll interlace your fingers to the webbing, press your palms into your mat, and look forward. And then start to spin your hips counterclockwise. Make sure to try and press your entire hand into your mat, both of them. And then imagine that your left collarbone is reaching out towards the left and your right collarbone reaches out towards the right. As you open up your wrists, you're opening up your neck, you're opening up your ankles. You have 5 necks in your body, your 2 wrists, your 2 ankles, and your neck. So anytime you work on any one of them, you're helping the other 4. So keep rotating counterclockwise. Notice which area of the baseball diamond it's hard to get to. And then start to speed it up, start to whip it up. And then you'll stop. You'll bring your hands back to parallel, your knees back to parallel. And then we're going to start flipping our wrists. So you'll flip your right wrist 180 degrees, and then your left, and then your right, and then your left, and then your right, and your left. And you're trying to flip here from your shoulder joint. It's like your hands are going on a pancake griddle, so you don't want to put a lot of weight into them. You're just flipping and flipping and flipping and flipping. And then you start to swim it. So you swim your right hand back and your left hand back, and your right hand forward and your left hand forward. So when your fingertips are facing forward, you reach forward and back, and when your fingertips are facing back, you reach back to go forward. So you keep switching between your right and your left, staying light in your hands, press into the tops of your feet. And then we'll come back to tabletop. And then we're going to meet in hero's pose. So grab your block, place it under your sits bones. Bring your feet out to either side of the block. Bring your knees together and your hands on your heels. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Feel yourself plugged into your block, rooted down through your perineum. The crown of your head straight up towards the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. Namaste.